So let's revisit that, putting framing on the foundation. Shortly after it's been poured, the concrete sets up, but it's not as strong. But hypothetically, you got a 2,500 spec PSI that might go up to 4,000, something like that, once it's fully dried after 56 days or so.
100 years.
100 years.
It takes about 100 years for you to stop being able to measure it, as
really?
long as it's not in conditions that could deteriorate it. But typically at 90 days, it's going to be real slow after that. And a year, you won't see much. It'll be so slow. Like that's 5,500. If we waited to 2 years, maybe it's 5,600 at best. So.
Mark and I had years ago, we had a basement that Jerry Ashmore did, and I don't know what he used for concrete then. It was a wall pour. And we had these guys come in to frame it, and it had sat, and it was probably 3 weeks old at that point, maybe a month old, so it was pretty high strength. And they cursed us just days trying to get nails.
Trying to hammer
they couldn't get anything in it. Yeah, they had to go get the gun.
But you got to figure when you're framing, you're not putting the load that's going to be on that house when you put that roof. By the time you get that roof,
you're more concerned with when you're putting nails, or if you're shooting redheads or something in that's not busting the side of the slab off and that's going to hold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have as big a problem with the anchor bolts. Because, you know, before you get a real load on it, it's going to be several weeks old anyway. So.
See, because that's essentially what I was getting at with the questions. You had that engineer buyer, the mechanical engineer, that's going, well, you're supposed to wait 7 days or so, and you put this down on day 3, so, and that's when you can start. I mean, the whole house ain't going to be on for, anyway.
That, and I guess my always biggest concern is the sheetrock guys stocking and not spreading it out, having all the load at one central spot. They'll get lazy and do that.
It won't really affect it though. I mean, what's a pallet of sheetrock weigh? A couple thousand pounds?
And then the surface area on that's huge.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. I mean, if you got, just say it's 2,000 PSI when he said, that's for every square inch. 2,000. So over a 4x8 sheet.
Yeah, it's nothing. That's a good point.
Now, if you had a guy pick it up wearing stiletto heels, then that would be
Yeah. This was actually something we did with white cement. I did a sample for a customer so they could look at it and see if it was white enough for them, which they never got it. But architectural, a patio, a front porch, something else they wanted with it.
They wanted it white, but if we have to do a color like a green or a blue, you've got to have white.
Yes, you got to start with.
And in order to get it true white, you need limestone, because the sands we use have clays in them and they're colored, so you won't get it true white. That's as close as we can get to white. We're running local sand and stone and white cement. Matter of fact,
very expensive. Very expensive, and normally an application is so small that
you have to bag it.
You bring it in 94-pound bags of white cement, and you're
busting them, dumping them in the truck.
Up rack, and you're dumping them in the truck. You know, it takes a big order to be able to empty out a silo and put enough white cement in there.
Yeah.
And it'll, like I said, it's